Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention for a moment. We're going to start the awards ceremony in about 5 minutes or so. So if you have not gotten in line for your meal, please do so right now, because we will start the awards ceremony in just a few minutes. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
Well, hello again and welcome back to the Grand Ballroom. I hope everybody had an opportunity to make it through the line. It seems that just as I got through the line, Mr. Black comes up and says, "Jim, you're on." And I argued and said, "No, Joan goes first." But guess what? I get to go first. So it was a pleasure having the opportunity this afternoon and also during our social hour here to get to mix and mingle with a lot of you folks. There are some great talent, some great employers, and also some fantastic employees or team members that are here tonight. So we thank you all for coming again and joining us here for our social hour and also our dinner. Again, I would like to thank our sponsors this evening that have made this all possible. Without our sponsors, this would not have been possible. And also a great big thank you to Mr. Ed Novotny, our guitarist, kind of play in the background while we all socialize. Thank you, Ed. That was terrific. Your contributions to this evening's event have made it remarkable. Now, for those of you that were at lunch today, I'm on the council side of the Workforce Development, Department of Workforce Services and the council side of that. Also kind of involved with the safety. There was 2 of our council members that I forgot, and they keep throwing rocks at me, so I thought rather than keep having rocks thrown, I'm really going to embarrass them and make them stand up by themselves. So I would also like to recognize Mary Berman, who is with us tonight, Mary, and also Terry Wigger. Those are 2 other council members that were here previously that I kind of forgot to recognize earlier. Governor, also, welcome and thank you for joining us. Really brief, because I'm not going to, Joan actually comes up next, and we all know Joan kind of overtakes the whole ceremony. It was amazing tonight during our social hour that I'd seen this young man walking, young, because he's a year younger than I am, so I'm going to say young, walking up down the halls. The recipient tonight of the Stop Work Award is actually from Upton, Wyoming. He graduated a year behind me. Upton, John Walsh, Upton, Northeast Corner. We create some good people. So the recipient of that award brought his family tonight. He's from Upton as well. So if you're ever traveling through an I-90, you need to get off at Moorcroft, go through Upton, go up to Four Corners, Newcastle, and get back on the interstate, and then you can continue on. Don't forget Upton. We're great people and a great place. Best town on earth, the sign says. So, but we're in for a special treat tonight. Tonight, to kick off our ceremonies, I would like to welcome back to the stage Mr. Jack Bedessum. And also, I kind of got that a little mixed up, but I guess other people have as well. And with him tonight, we have Denny Gladwin. Denny is a University of Wyoming graduate. He has 30 years of oil and gas industry experience, all of which he has spent in the Rocky Mountain region. Currently, he is a member in district management of Halliburton and Casper, Wyoming. Denny was an integral part and member of the planning committee to develop the 2014 Wyoming Safety and Workforce Summit, which is this one right here, serving on the Wyoming Oil and Gas Safety Alliance Board of Directors. Since the organization inception in 2010, Denny took the lead in the development of the Stop Work Authority Award. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining me up here on the stage. Denny and Jack, it's your turn to come up and take over. Also, don't forget about our world media. It's actually happening. If anybody been watching the Twitter and all the things that have been going on, be sure you follow that and take care of what's going on before these gentlemen come up. Now, remember, this is a Workforce and Safety Summit. All the tornado things that were handled here by Little America is so fantastic. That was all part of our plan. There really wasn't anything that happened. We dropped down some screens that made it look like it. It was all part of our program for safety. Little America handled it awesome. Didn't they amazing? I mean, we're all, you know what was so surprising? They get us to the storm shelter and there was beer. I'm like, let it happen. I am here, I'm staying, we're ready. So right now I'd like to bring Jack and Denny up to the stage. They're going to do some presentations for some safety awards. And come on up, gentlemen.
You ready for this? All right. What a great day this has been. Hopefully most of you enjoyed the presentations. I sure did enjoy the ones that I went to. I'm going to provide just a little bit of an introduction and a background on WGOSA and the Stop Work Authority Award and how that all came about. But I also wanted to let you know that this coming August will be the Wyoming Oil and Gas Safety Alliance's 4th anniversary. And so we've been around for 4 years. That's quite an accomplishment, I think, and we've come a long, long way. Well, when the organization was first getting started about 3.5 years ago, the governor decided he wanted to come to one of our board meetings. And he came, we talked, he wanted to understand what our mission was, how we were operated, and what some of our challenges were. He asked a lot of questions, and then at the end of the meeting, he asked if there was any way that he could support WGOSA's mission and WGOSA's efforts in any way. And what he ultimately ended up saying at the end was, is there an annual award that I could support that would help you with your mission? And our mission is to try to get incident-free operations throughout the industry. And so as a board, we got together, we talked about it for quite a while, tried to figure out what was going to be an award that was worthy of an annual governor's award. And finally, Denny came up with Stop Work Authority as a theme for an award that would be worthy of the governor's name behind it. And why did we choose Stop Work Authority? Because really, it's one of the ways that an individual can proactively stop an incident or a fatality from happening. And as an employer, as a supervisor, as a regulatory agency, we can provide all of the tools, all the equipment, all of the mentoring, all of the training to our employees to bring them home safely. But Stop Work Authority is another very, very powerful tool that actually puts safety in the hands of every one of the people that are in our workforce. They can take responsibility. They have the ability to stop accidents, injuries, fatalities, and incidents. It's a very, very powerful tool. And we thought that was a good theme for the annual Governor's Award. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Denny to talk a little bit more about these 2 awards and the Stop Work Authority Award that we're going to be issuing tonight. Denny? Thanks.
First of all, I would really like to thank the other members of WGOSA. An idea, a thought, has turned out into quite an award. I attend a lot of the other Safety Alliance meetings, and I'm really impressed with the fact that WGOSA, our name keeps coming up a lot, in a lot of good connotations in a lot of different areas. And it's really good, as Jack mentioned, we're going on 4 years, and I think we've made a lot of accomplishments through that 4-year period of time. But what's important is that it's a team effort. Sure, I threw out a concept and an idea, and it's really turned into quite an arena. What's interesting is that this time, as we were taking a look at all our events that were submitted to us, we had a situation where we had two events that really were outstanding. Both saved lives. One of those in particular probably really saved a huge catastrophic event. And so we decided this year at this event we would make two awards, the Governor's Award, Stop Work Authority, and also the Wogesa Award. And another thing that's interesting with what we're presenting tonight is that the Governor's Award is with the Refining Association. And to kind of let you know that there have been several branches of Wogesa that's taken off recently. The refiners have their association, their Safety Alliance. Transportation, the Wyoming Transportation Safety Alliance. And most recently, and we'll hear from these gentlemen tomorrow morning at breakfast, is the Wyoming Construction Safety Alliance. And we've been very helpful in helping those organizations get off the ground. But as I mentioned, our award tonight with the Governor's Award comes from the refinery group. So things are spreading. We're kind of using our organization as Wogesa as an umbrella to help these other organizations out, all with the same theme in mind. And that is that everybody goes home at night with all these attached, no broken bones, and no fatalities. And I have to commend everybody in Wogesa, the other safety alliances as well, because there's a lot of energy and a lot of concern by companies, owners, managers, supervisors out there to really help out with the safety process in the state of Wyoming. So anyway, I'd like to move ahead and talk a little bit about the Wogesa recipient. The company that this particular employee works for is Lynn Energy, based out of Boulder, Colorado. Excuse me, Boulder, Wyoming. That's close. little bit of difference in logistics and mileage, but it's out of Wyoming. So, a completion startup technician by the name of Stafford Polk Jr. Was driving onto a location when he noticed a couple operators were sledgehammering on a couple wings, housing cap, with a sledgehammer. And they were trying to get the cap to open and get it loose. He immediately realized that there was a lot of pressure behind that cap. And his next step was to go up to them and talk to them about it and basically point out to them the problems that they were having or would encounter. Number one, the cap was holding back somewhere around 2,650 pounds of pressure. If you really think about that. And the second thing is that their body positions were in the wrong spot. And if in fact they would have loosened that up, that pressure would have hit them, probably caused a couple of fatalities. So it's very important what this young man did. The operators really paid attention. What they did with the investigation, the operators did not understand how to determine how much pressure was still behind that cap. The operators failed to realize that they were in the line of fire. So this young man pointed out those situations, rectified it, and at this point nobody got hurt. And I really think if you think about that, that's a lot of pressure that somebody's going to get hit with. That's 2,650 pounds. Those of you that don't understand that can really realize the damage that could do. So at this time, with our Wogesa Award, we'd like to award to Lynn Energy, and unfortunately Stafford and his supervisor, Derek Shop, could not be here this evening. But with Lynn Energy tonight, Brenda Kasselder, Robin Kisling, and Scott Konikia, I think I got that right, is here tonight to join us to receive this award. So if I could have those come forward, please. This is the Each time we make a presentation, we actually hand out 3 different awards. And it's a plaque with the employee's name on it, the supervisor's name, and the company. And along with that, there's a monetary gift that is awarded to the employees. So anyway, they can hang these on their walls with pride. And again, we thank you for being here this evening, and congratulations to you.
I want to say a couple things. I'm from Oklahoma, worked in Texas, Louisiana, all over the world. And I want to thank Wyoming for keeping safety #1.
Sure. Okay.
I would really like to encourage everybody here this evening to understand what we are trying to do. A safety culture is something that is really not happening overnight. Wyoming, in the last few years, we've done a real good job in bringing our numbers down as far as fatalities, recordable incidents, but it doesn't stop there. A lot of talk with major companies, small companies, or whatever, we talk about getting to 0 incidents. And a lot of that we do at WGOSA is basically based on the training that we do. And as those of you that are here today can see what the Safety Summit has done, it's an outstanding event. I hope we can continue on year in and year out, but keep that in mind, is that there are a lot of things that we talk about, we practice, we train, and we do that you can take home with you. A stop work event is anything that can be used at work and at home. Those of you that have children, young adults, you're teaching them how to drive. The little ones, you know, you're trying to protect them. And things that you may learn at work, take them home with you. They're life events. It's very important to all of you with your families, whatever the case might be. So anyway, thank you. I've enjoyed being here today, tonight, and tomorrow. And everybody be safe. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, this is quite an honor for me. And in Jim's words this morning, I'm going to have to do a little baby boogie bumpy bumper or something like that to get started. I added the word boogie in there, if you noticed, from our baby buggy boogie bumper. I like the boogie this morning. I'm going to take that back to the office with me. So anyway, although the governor probably needs no introduction to this group here in this room, I'm going to talk a little bit about one of the experiences that I had here last year when I got invited to go on a trade mission trip to Alberta with the governor and a number of other business representatives, and actually see the governor firsthand in action. Whenever we went to visit a facility, he inquired about their operations, but he also was very clearly inquired about, you know, how do you handle your safety culture? How do you encourage your safety culture at those facilities? And it really became obvious that he was concerned with finding ways and very committed to finding ways to help Wyoming businesses, Wyoming companies bring their employees home safe and healthy every night. Governor Mead, Matt Mead, was sworn in as Wyoming's 32nd governor on January 3rd, 2011. He was born in Jackson and raised on the family ranch in Teton County. He has a law degree from the University of Wyoming. The governor continues to focus on economic growth, state energy policy, consolidation of government services, local government and infrastructure funding, and additional high-speed broadband access. Matt and his wife Carol have been married for 22 years. They have teenage children, 2 teenage children, Mary and Pete. And at this time, it is my distinct honor to introduce to you the governor of our great state, Governor Matt Mead.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jack, thank you very much. Jim, appreciate very much your work. Thank you all for being here. I was going to tell Denny, when you mentioned Boulder, Colorado, I knew what you meant because I don't even think there is such a place, so I knew you meant Boulder, Wyoming. I want to thank everybody for being here, and in terms of our kids, it's a reminder of tonight, my daughter recently turned 16 years old, and while I had the chance, I should have changed the whole law on driving. I think 18 is a perfectly good number, I really do. I want to thank Wogiza for the work that they have done. As has been explained, I had the good fortune of meeting with them, and in doing that we talked about, is there something I could do to provide additional recognition and additional attention on how important worker safety is. And from that we are here tonight, and from that we have seen other organizations step up and say, let's do similar things, and we see that, and we see the results of that. And you know, sometimes it's not easy. When we first met with Frank, the refinery group, you know, how do you do it in a way that you're not sharing your best secrets, but how do you do it in a way where you can share success and share challenges, to recognize that the whole industry can be lifted up. And when I see that, and I see it in the Trucking Association, I see it with contractors, I recognize that we are on the right track in Wyoming. And it's very exciting for me to see that. So I want to thank the Workforce Development Council very much. Thank you, Jim, all the council for your work. Joan, Workforce Services, the Contractors Association, all those sponsors and the vendors and all that are presenting and have presented in the conference. In my last State of the State address, I talked about where Wyoming is and where it needs to go, and how we need to continue to educate the next generation in terms of safety and in terms of what we have in the state and what we can do in the state, so that we can keep our top 3 industries, energy, tourism, ag, and all our industries strong and growing. And if you think about that, it certainly involves career technical education. And what we see at the University of Wyoming, we see at our great community colleges, what we see at Workforce Services, we are providing some incredible training. And the state has been the beneficiary of that. So just let me tell you briefly where the state is. 3.5 years ago, our unemployment was about 6.7%. We're now about 3.8%, which I've been touting around the state, but when I say that 3.8% in front of employers, I'm starting to get frowns now, which is, that's too damn low. We're having trouble finding workers. But the good news is we are growing as a state. We're growing in terms of population. We're growing in terms of our economic strength. And as a matter of fact, last year, Wyoming had the 2nd fastest growing GDP of any state in the country. Number 2, Wyoming with the smallest population. It's incredible. And it's also incredible what we see in Wyoming now. There is more Wyoming people employed in the state of Wyoming now than there has ever been in the history of our state. It's a remarkable time. And then we see that, and you see what it brings in terms of our entire state and our entire population, and what it brings. It's magnificent. We have the lowest foreclosure rate in the country. And proudly, we also have the 3rd lowest poverty rate in the country as it relates to adults. We have the 1st lowest poverty rate in the country as it relates to kids. That's what the strong economy does. That's what those of you in the private sector are doing for the state of Wyoming. But we all know this. It doesn't work if you don't address safety. It doesn't work if you don't address safety. And a recognition by a state that is rugged, that is independent, that for so long has held the view, just get the job done. We've got a cultural change that we're working on. We want the job done, but no job is done properly if it's not done safely. The message is get the job done safely. The message is that safety isn't part of your job, it is your job. It is the most important job. And I can tell you on a personal level, it's not just on an economic level, but on a personal level. My mom was killed in a work accident. And you receive that call that this has happened. It's torture. It's absolutely torture. And so when you think about what you do on your jobs and you think about those who you work with on your job, you know what? Remember this. I've never met a dollar that is worth a finger. I've never met $100 million that's worth a life. And when we talk about the Stop Work Award, and we know that sometimes it can be tough, let me suggest to you that that is in no way as tough as having to make a call to a son, a daughter, a spouse, that a loved one's not coming home. And so safety is a huge economic issue because we have great companies here and we want to keep them here. But they don't want to be here if we're not focused on safety. And as we recruit some incredible businesses in this state, we want to say we have all these things in Wyoming, the lowest taxes, all the incredible things. And we also want to say, and safety is a priority, because for good companies, that also helps them make the choice on where they go. And on a personal level, we know what it means. And as I present tonight the award for the Stop Work Award, and I'm very proud to do that, I want to tell you that this is the third time I've had the privilege of doing this, and I'm very pleased to have the chance to do it tonight. And in talking to tonight's award recipient and talking about the importance of it, one of the things we talked about is, you know, this only works if a company supports the worker who does that. If you are chastised, if you are in fear of losing your job because you're the one that said, let's stop work, it's harder to do. So it's not just the individual who says, we're going to stop this. It's the company that supports them. And so when we give these Stop Work Awards to an individual, it is also an award to a company in the very real way. And as I talked to tonight's award recipient, and I got to meet his beautiful family, I said to him, you know, if you ever you don't need any more motivation to think about safety than you do when you look down at your beautiful family. And he said to me, that's true, but I feel the same about everybody I work with and the beautiful families that they have. It is not just about the individual, it is about the families. It's about your co-workers' families. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about safety. Wyoming has work to do, but we have made huge progress. And in fact, we never want to get to a day when we say we have arrived, because that's the day we're going to have trouble. We will always be improving, always knowing that today we can do a little better on safety, and that will remain so. But tonight's award winner is the third Stop Work Authority Award, and it goes to John Ondrzejczyk. How do you do, John? Close? Okay. From Holly Frontier Refining in Cheyenne. John has worked at a refinery since 1998, and here's what John did, which gained him the award. He was an operator of a CAT unit, and a third round inspection on his shift, he saw a shiny protrusion. He suspected the lining was gone from the reactor riser unit. So he called his supervisor, and the decision was made to safely shut down the unit. And in fact, the protective lining was gone. If it had gone unchecked, it would have ignited. So John, congratulations. And in talking to John, I saw him earlier in the week. We have good taste in restaurants, and we met there. But John told me, you know, that it was very important to note that Holly Frontier was extremely supportive in this, and that's a team effort, and we thank you. So John, I want to thank you for what you've done, not only for the safety of the workers there that day, but the example you set for all of us in terms of worker safety. It's an award well-deserved, and I'm proud to be able to give it to you tonight. So, John, if you'll come on up, we want to congratulate you. John wants to say a few words.
Yep. You know, it's nice to have a company who empowers their employee to, you know, to let them being out on the front lines and seeing what's going on, to let them know that there is safety issues. And it's a difficult relationship because it's hard, you know, when you work with your employer and stuff, you feel that they sometimes put production over safety, and Holly Frontier has totally proved to me that safety is definitely over production. And not only just for me, but for my coworkers and everybody else. And I hope you guys will have the same relationship as we do. And it seems to be working very well, and hopefully we can continue to keep that relationship and keep things safe, not only for my family, but my coworkers and the community. And thank you very much.
Governor, thanks for those for that message. Also, thanks for your support of WGOSA and the other safety alliances that have most recently been formed here in the state. From WGOSA's standpoint, I'll give you a heads up that we're going to approach your office for some additional support here in the near future. But what a great message, and I think from the talk the governor made just a few minutes ago and what we've seen him do in the last 3 years, I think we can all say that this state's in great hands, and there's some great things yet to come. And I haven't forgotten that I owe you a giant chocolate shake and a fly fishing lesson. Yes, I do. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Well, it's my pleasure to now bring up Carrie Ashley from our State Mine Inspector's Office. And Carrie, if you join me up here. Our State Mine Inspector, Terry Adcock, is well respected by all of his colleagues in the mining community, appointed by Governor Mead, and through statute assigned to our agency in the Department of Workforce Services. So I always say, when things are going very well, Terry reports to us in the department. If things are kind of shaky, you should probably call the governor. So yeah, but we have a great working relationship. Terry is on a vacation with his family this week, so Carrie Ashley from our State Mine Inspector's Office will come up, and we have the privilege of recognizing excellence in safety and health in the mining industry tonight, and present the Governor's Safety Award certificates in mining and industry, and they influence safe work practices in the industry and really serve as leaders that aid others in achieving these best practices. So we have 4 awards to give out this year. Our award winners, once your name is announced, please come on up to the stage, and following all of the awards, we'll do photos, probably over here off to the side, and the governor has been gracious enough to stay with us this evening and do the photos with us. So thank you, Governor Mead, for staying throughout the evening. I know that wasn't your original plan, but we appreciate that. So thank you so much. We have 4 categories. We have our small mine site contractor, we have large mine site contractor, We have small mining employer and large mining employer. And our selection committee had a very difficult time in choosing the winners this year because we had so many outstanding nominations to choose from. Remember, if we can all have the award winners join us afterwards for a photo, we'd really appreciate that. Well, go ahead. Come on up, Kerry. He's being shy back there.
No.
So we'll start out this evening the Governor's Safety Mining Award for small size mine site contractor. Please join me in welcoming Ready Project Services LLC, headquartered in Lyman, Wyoming. Come on up. Thank you.
Thank you. Get some glasses. 43,000 man hours.
43,000 man hours, Carrie's saying. So great job. And I offered the microphone to Lance and he said no. So we will honor that request. Our second award is for our large mine site contractor. And do you have hours on that, Carrie?
227,000.
227,544. So 227,000 man hours without a lost time accident.
Very good.
Very good. So please join me in welcoming Rail Link Inc. of Gillette.
Right?
No one wants the microphone.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys.
Oftentimes we have winners over multiple years, and so they receive these banners and they're able to display them in their workplaces. So congratulations. Our next award is for small mining employer, and we have our statistics.
118,000.
118,604 man hours without a lost time accident. Please welcome, or please join me in welcoming Wyodak Resources Development Corporation from our Wyodak coal mine.
First off, I'd like to thank all the team that made this real effort in the last 2.5 years. And it's a great honor to be here tonight and accept this award for 70 employees of Wyodak Mine and also Black Hills Corporation. Without their support and their initiatives, this may not have been possible. But we want to sustain zero, and with the help and support of our company, it will be a reality. So thank you.
Finally had a taker on that microphone.
Yes,
so
finally.
Good job. All right, our final award for mining is our large mining employer. 1,369,602 man hours. That's very commendable. Please join me in welcoming Cloud Peak Energy for their Cordero Rojo mine. Come on up. No? $1 million hours.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's quite the accomplishment, and it starts from the bottom up. The Cordero employees have a lot of pride in the work that they do, and every day is just another day underneath the belt. We look at things from one task at a time, and we're only one task away from having something very bad happen. So we spend a lot of time, we take a lot of effort in preparing for daily tasks and events. The culture is focused around safety. Safety within Cloud Peak Energy and Cordero Rojo is always priority, and there's no cost. You can't put a price on safety. That message is sent down from the top all the way down, and I think the employees greatly appreciate the effort that our company puts into the safety of our employees and making sure that everybody goes home safely. This is a great award. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our Governor's Safety Mining winners, and it's really an honor to be able to recognize all of you. Very proud of our staff in the State Mine Inspector's Office as well. Carrie, you and your colleagues represent so well, have great relationships, and very well respected in the mining community, so thank you for all you do as well.
Thanks to all the miners out there.
We'll go ahead and move on now to our Governor's Safety Awards for Industry. In this category, I'd like to invite John Eisbart, our administrator over our Standards and Compliance programs in the Department of Workforce Services, to come up and assist with our awards. For these organizations, safety and health have been made a top priority. These industry recipients will be recognized for their dedication and efforts in going above and beyond in creating a safe environment for their workforce. Again, we had excellent nominations, very hard to choose, but we're pleased to honor some folks this evening. Again, don't forget we're going to do pictures afterwards here on the north side, and please do not ask me which way's north. Bart, can you help me out? Because I have no idea, but we'll figure that out afterwards. I'm sorry, I don't know. When I'm inside, I just don't know. But I'll boss you around when driving, you know that, even though I don't know the directions. Oh, heck, I boss everybody around. Okay. All right, our first award is for our Voluntary Protection Program Small Employer. And please join me in welcoming GM Stewart Corporation of Evanston to the stage.
I'd just like to take a second to obtain this award. Besides establishing the culture with our employees, the management and the training, instrumental in us obtaining this has been the Wyoming workforce. For years, these guys have been incredible. Our actual hours are probably a split of third between Idaho, Colorado, and Wyoming. And the information, training, support services the Wyoming workforce provides is just incredible, and it contributes to our safety results. So we'd like to thank them.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our second award for our Voluntary Protection Program for a large employer, please join me in welcoming Chevron USA Wyoming Area Operations up to the stage.
You know, we as has been said so capably this evening, we also are so thankful for the employees that make this possible. But building on what the governor said, you know, safety is certainly an attitude. You can have all the processes and all the procedures, they have to be connected by behavior. And we, having had a journey with Wyoming Workforce Services, a very wonderful journey in helping to establish safety from the governor down into the hearts and the minds of people. And when we get there, we have a culture that will sustain that incident-free workplace, which certainly we all work for. So again, it's wonderful to be a part of this summit. I think all of you would agree, very beneficial and a great thing to be a part of and to be partnered with Wyoming Workforce Services. Thank you.
The next award is for Safety and Health Achievement, our Safety and Health Achievement Recognition Program. For a small employer, please join me in welcoming WBI Energy Transmission.
I just want to say that our company, the upper management doesn't just push safety, they make that an expectation. They let us know that they expect us to work safely. Our safety department here, they're a tremendous resource for us. OSHA has been a tremendous resource for us, but really the ones that make it work are our frontline employees. We have employees that are really safety leaders beyond what management is, beyond what the safety department is, and they're the ones that make us successful and set our culture. And thanks, Brad.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations. We'd now like to recognize the award winner for Safety and Health Achievement Program Large Employer. And these are prestigious awards, folks. These take hours and hours of time working with our department to achieve. And I hope you'll take the time, maybe go out on our website, look into those programs if you haven't had a chance to do that. But again, just want to stress, very, very prestigious and really pleased to honor folks this evening. So for Large Employer, our Safety and Health Achievement, Automation and Electronics of Casper and Gillette. Come on up.
This award is great timing. It's comes on the heels of a person who deserves a lot of credit in this, and that's our safety director, Holly Slaybaugh, who's retiring after 22 years with the company. And I think this is a great achievement for her to conclude her career with and finish on a great note. But achieving this is something that comes with a great deal of leadership and support from our owner, our management, and that in turn brings about a great deal of buy-in and ownership by all the employees. So we're really honored to be here, and thank you.
Our next award is for All Industry Small Employer. Please join me in welcoming Degerstrom Converters of Rock Springs. I don't see anybody coming up, so we must not have those folks here. Wait, someone waving? We'll bring it down. Dominique. We're going to hand deliver this award. We're going mobile, folks. I couldn't see you in the light.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, on behalf of the guys from Degerstrom Converters, I'd like to thank you very much for this award. And thank you for bringing it down to me. I appreciate it. A little mobility challenge tonight, so thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. All right, our final award is, let's see if I can get this back in here, the award for All Industry Large Employer. Please join me in welcoming Wyoming Machinery of Casper and Cheyenne.
Well, on behalf of Wyoming Machinery, thank you very much. Our employees have come a long way in the last 5 years, and we'd like to thank Rich Wheeler, our owner, our executive team. Without their support, this would have never happened. So great job and appreciation to them, and terrific job with our employees. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our winners of the Governor's Safety Awards for Industry. And we'll have a chance to have the governor join us for photos here shortly. As soon as we wrap up the final segment of our evening tonight, honoring individuals that have made contributions to our Wyoming workforce. And so our Workforce Development Council Chairman Jim Engel and our Vice Chairman Leonard Scolari will come up and present those awards this evening. Come on up, guys.
Thank you, Joan. What a great bunch of people we just saw. Congratulations to all of our recipients of the Safety Awards. We as a council would like to recognize the innovation of the great people of Wyoming. The Workforce Awards are our chance to highlight specific strategies that have been proven effective within unique situations. It is the innovation that helps to form the future of Wyoming's workforce. These awards were given to organizations that have a collaboration to solve unique community issues. However, the strategies that they have selected to honor and that we have selected to honor tonight are not only theirs, they are ones that we can adopt as other employers across the entire state. So at this time, we would like to go ahead and recognize our first recipient. The Wyoming Workforce Development Council Awards would like to recognize our first recipient for Workforce Partnership Award. And by the way, this is the Vice Chair of the Council, Leonard. We all met him earlier. This award is the Workforce Partnership Award. Will recognize a project that has demonstrated a unique collaboration between business and community organizations that include, but are not limited to, the workforce systems, economic development, and education that results in addressing workforce issues. Please join him in welcoming to the stage the Wyoming Process Technology Partnerships, who are the recipient of the 2014 Workforce Partnership Award.
LCCC is a well-oiled machine when it comes to training quality workforce.
Holly Frontiers forecasted they needed 20 new employees a year for the next 3 years. And Don Nobel is forecasting 10 years.
We're looking for guys that know what makes a refinery run or an industrial plant run.
HollyFrontier and Dyno Nobel have partnered with LCCC to create a process technology certificate program to help train better qualified workers to meet their needs.
It's really difficult to bring a person in and they understand the dangers, the processes, and how to fix those issues that arise in this kind of environment.
The main focus on all of this training is safety. Every one of the students that comes through will get a general industry OSHA 10 card, and then we're going to build upon that.
In mid-2012, a group called WRSA, the Wyoming Refining Safety Alliance, was created. Discussion of how to increase safety at their plants turned into a discussion for the need of better trained employees.
We can have this beautiful blend of training these future employees to a level that we haven't been able to achieve before.
It's a basic understanding of what we do from a chemistry and a physics standpoint in the refineries, in the industrial plants. So that's what we're trying to do, is build that knowledge.
And that knowledge will give a potential employee a serious leg up on their competition for good-paying jobs that are in demand.
Typically, we're starting folks in the neighborhood of $20 an hour, starting just walking in the gate. And then it goes up from there.
I see a lot of people coming into this because we have some very good businesses here in Cheyenne that's going to gobble these people up.
There's a small group up here accepting this award, but we want to acknowledge there's a lot of people behind the scenes that have done the heavy lifting. I want to thank the Wyoming Refining Safety Alliance, the community colleges here in the great state of Wyoming for coming to fruition an idea that we were tossing around a conference room about several years ago. And I was able to meet one of the graduates tonight from the technology program, and that says it all, to see an idea go from that to someone who hopefully has obtained the life skills needed to be a safe and productive worker in Wyoming's energy industry. So thank you.
Congratulations, guys. Thank you. Congratulations to our first recipient. Our second award this evening is for an Outstanding Investment in Young Worker Award. This is an award that actually touches my heart and many of us, if any of us have ever had an opportunity to take advantage or affect a young person's life to where they actually change their career path or change the direction they're headed. This award is something that actually means a lot, and I appreciate them so much. This was totally off script. I've had an opportunity to affect some young people's lives in the workforce and actually change their entire family's lives to where grandmothers, grandfathers, great uncles, and great aunts are calling and thanking you as well. So our next recipient, number 2, is the Outstanding Investment in Young Worker Award. This award it recognizes exemplary employers who have committed to invest in young workers. An employer who has provided opportunities for young workers to grow and succeed and connect with them in their community. Provide for a work and life balance and embed in the young worker friendly practices in their work, in their framework. At this time, we would like to bring to the stage and recognize our next recipient. Please help me in welcoming Gail Wilson of Laramie to the stage. Gail manages the Workers of Wyoming store in Laramie, a project of the Wyoming Women's Business Center. Gail is receiving the 2014 Outstanding Investment in Young Workers Award. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Workforce Services, for the opportunity to
train a young lady who has potential, and we're looking for great things from her. It was a pleasure to have her and to have Workforce Services pay us to do it. Thank you very much.
If any of you have ever been catfish hand hunting, when I grabbed a hold of Gail's hand and said, you need to say a few words, it was like grabbing a great big 30-pound catfish. She did not want to do it, but thank you, Gail. Thank you. Yeah, so you've been catfish hunting, whoever was just chuckling. The hand fish where you grab them down in Texas? Missouri, is that what? Loodling? I don't know. I know I was just down south and these guys like, let's go out and do it. And I didn't even know what it was called. I watched it on TV, but yeah. Okay, well, that's what it felt like, grabbing her hand saying, let's talk. Our third recipient in our final award this evening is the Outstanding Individual Performance Award. This award recognizes an individual who has made significant contributions to workforce development profession through the development or enhancement of public or private workforce systems, or the building of strategic alliance and partnerships. Please join me in welcoming the Director of the Workforce Training in Central Wyoming College Workforce and Community Education Department, Lori Ridgway, to the stage for the 2014 Outstanding Individual Performance Award.
Thank you. I just wanted to let everybody know that I feel like today's been all about partnerships, and that's how we do things at Central Wyoming College, and my workforce partners throughout the state and the community colleges and other programs that we work with. Everything that we make happen here is through partnerships with industry and education and training, and it's really fun to see what we can do together, and I appreciate being recognized by the people that I work with, because I have an incredibly amazing team to work with, so thank you.
Lori, thank you for another catfish moment there. I really don't want to say anything. Well, for any of you folks that were here this morning, we're really close to wrapping up, but as I said, let's be sure that we get out there and do the worldwide on our Wyoming Summit. There's actually some followers that have been tweeting me back of, is that really what you were saying when you were saying that this morning? And I said, yes, it's rubber, baby, buggy, bumper, and you learn that as a warm-up, whether you go to auctioneering school. I was actually at University of New Mexico. Then I went to Wyoming. After that, I came back to Wyoming. I was one of those kids that wanted to get out of the state. And that's what they taught you there in the communications committee. Also, the other topic that I had this morning, my little boy is actually staying with my folks, and he's been burning up my iPad. And I have the BlackBerry. I'm a firm BlackBerry believer. I will not let go of it. I bought the newest one. I will not go iPhone, so I cannot get all of his iPod, I think they're called, messages on my BlackBerry. He sent to my iPad when I got back to my room, Dad, did you really say hippopotamus in your speech? And since some of you weren't here, he was actually practicing my speech, this is for the governor, before I came, and when he came to the word epidemiologist, he would say hippopotamus. So this morning, I shared that with everyone, and sure enough, we had a speaker that came up that tried to say epidemiologist, and might as well have just said hippopotamus. So I texted him back, yes, I said hippopotamus, and it's all good. Well, at this time, we want to obviously thank everyone for the perfect ending to a very busy day, and congratulations to all of our winners. You are the shining example of what workforce development and safety in Wyoming has come to make us the #1 state in the union. We appreciate you very much and the positive impact you have made. If you at this time can once again remember that we start tomorrow morning at 7:15 a.m. with sponsors, or with breakfast, breakfast sponsored by, with sponsors, Sage Technical Services, and to hear from one more Wyoming Safety Alliance. After breakfast, we will have the compelling account, and this will be amazing. Invite your friends and family, even if they're not registered, to bring them. The compelling account of the dangers of distracted driving from our keynote speaker, J.C. Good. Again, much gratitude to our sponsors for the 2014 Wyoming Safety and Workforce Summit. Have a pleasant evening, and thank you to you all. Thank you.
'cause